Hey, Miss Marion here. Make sure you have a note page, and we're going to go through solving equations. Word problems are not really bad, so don't sit there and complain. But make sure you have a word problem, the word problem day one packet, note packet with you, so you can go ahead and go through notes with me. All right, here is our starter for today. You need to go ahead and write down all the starters. Go ahead and answer those, and then you're going to come back to me. So answer number 1. Answer number 2. Answer number 3. Answer number 4. And answer number 5. All right, so now we're going to go into our notes. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit further about that. And so we need to go ahead and write down our I can statements. Our can statement is I can solve word problems in one variable. And as you can kind of see, we need to know different words that go for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And so we're going to go ahead and write these down. So one of the words we can do is difference for subtractions, fewer than, shorter than, minus, less, decreased by, and diminished by. For addition, one of the words we know is sum, in all, increased by, more than, combined, and plus. So for multiplication, remember times is multiplication, twice, so that's like 2 times, and product is the mathematical way of saying multiplication. For division, we have quotient. Quotient is the mathematical word for multiplication, for division. Split, let's actually spell that correctly. Into, divide by, or divided by, let's put that, I like that a little bit better. And separated. So make sure you have all of these words written down because we're going to use them actually in some word problems in a second. So make sure you have all of those written down. All right, here's example number 1. It says define a variable, write an equation, and solve. And the way that we kind of look into it is kind of like an introduction, a body, and the conclusion. And so first of all, let's read what we have. Twice a number increased by 20 is 62. Find the number. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to translate this stuff. So we're going to go ahead and say twice a number. So we talked about that a little bit earlier. At times, well, actually, what are we trying to find? Let's start there. So we have a number, right? That's what we're looking for. And it says to find a number. So we're going to define. So we want to go ahead and we want to, first of all, define what a number is. And we're going to define our variable. We're going to say let x be or equal to, we'll say equal to, I like that a little bit better, equal to the number, because that's what we're looking for, right? The number. That's the intro. So we always need to define what our variables are, okay? The body is the equation. So now we have to kind of go back up to what we have. So we're going to say twice a number. So we're going to say 2 times a number. We define a number as x. Increased by, so we know increased is adding, and then we have 20, and then is always equal to math and then 62. So the body part of this is our equation. So we're going to have 2x plus 20 equals 62. So from here, we want to go ahead and solve it. So we've been solving equations for the last little while. So who wants to, the question is, right, who wants to be with the 62? And we're going to pull from the crowded side. So who wants to be with the 62? Oh, that's the 20. 20, he's subtracting. So then what are we going to do? We are going to subtract. So we're going to subtract off 20 from both sides of the equation. So we have 2x left over. Positive and negative 20, they make a 0. They go away. And then we have 62 minus 20, which is 42. Next, we want to go ahead and get x by himself. So remember 2 and x, they are multiplying. Opposite multiplication is division, so we're going to divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, leaves x by himself. 42 divided by 2 is 21. So then our conclusion is we're going to put it into a sentence form. We're going to say that number is 21. So you should have all of this written down for example number 1. All right, so turn the page. Let's look at number 2. So example number 2. So example number 2, again, we have our intro, our body, and our conclusion. And so we're going to go ahead and let's read what we have. We have 3 times the number. Decreased by 11 is 58. Find the number. So first of all, we have to do to kind of like define our variable. So we're going to say let's do m for Marion. Let m equal the number, because that's what we're looking for. Okay, so now let's go back up to the sentence that we have. Let's kind of translate it or annotate it into mathematical kind of words. So we have 3 times, so 3 times a number, and we said that it's going to be m this time, decreased by, so that's subtract, and then we have 11 equals, and then 58. So let's put this together as an equation. So we have 3m minus 11 equals 58. And again, we want to go ahead, we want to solve it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull from the, we want to go ahead and pull from the crowded side. We're going to ask, okay, who wants to be with 58? Is it negative 11 or is it 3m? And it's negative 11 that wants to be with the 58. So negative or subtract, however you look at it. So it's subtract. So then we are going to add 11 to both sides. Then we're going to have 3m. Positive, negative 11, they make a 0. And then we're going to say 58 plus 11 is 69. We want to get m by himself. 3 and m, they are multiplying. They're sitting next to each other. They're a couple, so that's multiplication. So then we are going to divide by 3 on both sides. 3 divided by 3 leaves m by himself. And then we're going to grab our calculator. We're going to say 69 divided by 3, that is 23. Now that we solved it, we're going to go ahead and do the conclusion part. We're going to say the number, because that's what we're looking for. The number is 23. All right, here is example number 3. Let's read the sentence. 9 less than 4 times a number is 15. Find the number. So again, we need to go ahead and define our variable. And we'll say let x equal the number. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to translate this sentence. So we have 9. And here we have less than. Okay, so less is subtract. But if you remember, than tells us to switch places. So that's kind of how I have the arrow back and forth. And I'll explain a little bit further with that in a second. Then we have 4 times is multiplication. A number, our number is x. We have is, which is equals, and then we have 15. So when we write down our equation, we're going to write it down as 4x, because remember that we had this less than. It tells us to switch these two positions. So we're going to say 4x minus 9 equals 15. This is actually our equation that we're trying to solve. And it's because of that less than. It tells us to switch places. So now let's go ahead. Let's ask ourselves, okay, we're going to pull from the crowded side. Who wants to be with the 15? Is it 4x or is it minus 9? And it's the minus 9 that wants to be with the 15. So we're going to go ahead and, because it's subtraction or minus, we're going to add 9 to both sides. Or if you think of it as a negative 9, we're going to put a positive 9 with it to make it 0. We have 4x left over, positive negative 9, cross out. We're going to have equals. And then 15 plus 9 is 24. X is still not by himself, so we're going to go ahead and 4 and x, remind ourselves, oh, that's a couple. It's sitting next to each other. That is multiplying each other. So then we are going to divide. Opposite of multiplication is division. 4 divided by 4 is 1, leaves x by himself. Grab our calculators, let's do 24 divided by 4, and that answer is 6. So then we're going to say the number, which we are looking for, equals 6. All right, turn the page. Let's do a little bit more kind of stuff. This is going to be a little bit more than what we've done before. Okay, so we're kind of have to combine some stuff together. So if you need to rewind this and do it again, you can, okay? But make sure you understand what's going on. So first of all, it says the length of a rectangular field is 7 less than 4 times the width. The perimeter is 136 meters. Find the width and the length of the rectangle. So let's go ahead and let's define what we're looking for. We're going to say let L equal the length, okay, and then we're looking for our width. So we're going to say and W equal the width. And this is all about this rectangle, okay? So now let's translate some stuff. Let's go back up and we're going to say the length, L, of a rectangular field is 7, and then less, and then switch, right? Because the less than 4 times W. And then we have the perimeter is 136, okay? So we have to remember about perimeter. Perimeter is all the way around the rectangle, okay? First of all, let's write down our first sentence that we have. So we have L equals, it's going to be 4W minus 7. And that has to do with the less than. It tells us to switch these two things, okay? Now let's draw a picture. And so we have a picture. And I'm going to put this in green. So we're going to say our width is 4 minus W. Or 4W minus 7, 4W minus 7. And what are the other two sides? W and W. Okay? So now let's think about the perimeter is adding all of this up. So let's add all this up. So we have, I'm going to start kind of here. So we have 4W minus 7 plus, and let's go around the rectangle, W, plus 4W minus 7 plus W equals, and it's 136. This is the equation for the perimeter. Now from here, we want to go ahead and we want to combine like terms on the left-hand side. So I have 4W, I have W, I have 4W, and I have a W. So remember, in this group, there's 4. This group, there is 1. This group, there is 4. And then this group is 1. Let's add them all together. How many W's do I have total? That is 10W. Now let's combine the numbers. I have -7 and -7. Put them together. So -7 plus a -7, that is -14. And then all of this is going to equal 136. Right? Because we're looking for the width the length and the width. Okay, so let's solve this equation. So because it is, so who wants to be with the 136? Is it negative 14 or is it 10W? Well, that's negative 14, wants to be over here with his friend. So what are we going to do? Because it's subtract 14, we are going to add 14 to both sides. Then we're going to have 10W equals 136 plus 14 is 150. We want to get W by himself. 10 and W, they are multiplying, so then we are going to divide by 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1, it leaves W by himself. 15 divided by 10, 150 divided by 10 is 15. So this is our W. Now remember, we want to go ahead and we want to solve for our L also. Our equation for L was 4 times W minus 7. So it's going to be 4 times 15 minus 7. Grab your calculator, do 4 times 15 minus 7. And that is going to be 53. So then our conclusion on all of this, what is our conclusion? Well, we are looking for both the length and the width. So we're going to say the width equals 15, and then at the beginning, if you notice up here, it has meters. We're going to put meters with that. And we're going to say, and the length is 53 meters. So this time we were looking for 2 of them. All right, here's another one with the lengths and the widths, just like we did before. It's a little bit different. But we're still going to kind of go through it. Let's look at it. So it says the perimeter of the rectangle is 24. The length is 6 more than the width. Find the length and then find the width. So again, let's go ahead, let's define some stuff. We're going to say let L equal the length and let W equal the width. And this is all of the perimeter. Let's go back up to the equation. Let's translate it, okay, annotate it. So we know that the perimeter, right, is 24, okay? And it says the length is 6 more than, so more is adding, than is switching, and then the width is W, okay? So our equation that we have for this is going to be L equals W plus 6. And let's draw our picture, and then let's label it with what we have. So they say the length is W plus 6, W plus 6. Our widths are still the same, so we have W and W, okay? And let's put the equation together. So we have W plus 6 plus W plus W plus 6 plus W equals, and then they say the perimeter is 24. Let's combine all of our like terms. We have a W and a W and a W and a W. How many W's do we have? 4 W's. Let's add our numbers together. We have 6 plus 6, which is 12, and then all of this is going to equal 24. So now we want to go ahead and we want to solve the equation. So we have, who wants to be with the 24? Is it the 12 or the 4W? That's the 24 wants to be over here. That's adding 24, so then we are going to, that's adding 12, so then we're going to subtract off 12. So we have 4W, positive negative 12 makes 0. 24 minus 12 is 12. How do we get W by himself? 4 and W are multiplying, so then we are going to divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, it leaves W by himself. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And then remember, we want to find our length. And we have an equation for that. We said the length is W plus 6. So that is 3 plus 6, which is 9. Now let's go ahead, let's put everything together. We're going to say the width, that's the W one, right? The width is 3, and we weren't giving any units. We're just going to put units in there. We're going to say 3 units. And the length is 9 units. Great. Awesome. So we've gone through our notes for today. You do have a worksheet to go ahead and do. It does go into Canvas, so make sure you get the worksheet. Make sure you go through it, and then put the answers into Canvas, and then you'll be good for today. Hope you have a good day. See you later. Bye.